Hello again! Duck and the Clock with more of the monster! That is Action 52! Scarier than a liberal when you're a conservative. On to the slate for today, Atmos Quake, Streemerz, Boss, and Chill Out. We shall start with Atmos Quake. A game where you can basically hold the button to fire and then just move around to avoid the objects. It's not as, it's definitely not a, high-level, vertical scroller, but, I've seen it. It's not the worst that the game has to offer. At the very least, it's not too super difficult. The music is grating, though. Again, not uncommon for Action 52. Dambusters had an okay track, but I'm pretty sure that was plagiarized. That's not the last plagiarized track we'll be hearing. We'll be hearing more of it today, in fact. And I would link to that, but I'm pretty sure that that link is now broken. It was a YouTube video that compared the music from some of the Action 52 tracks to it. I believe it was an Atari music studio thing. I mean, it was hardly in doubt that it was ripped off. But I think that got taken down. I don't know why. I didn't see. It just said it was taken down. It didn't say there was a copyright infringement on it or anything. But it's almost forgivable because their efforts at original music have been pretty much uniformly terrible. With the exception of the Cheetah Men theme, which is pretty catchy, to be honest. But I'm pretty sure they hired someone to design that because it sounds completely different. And you notice I'm talking a lot more about stuff other than the game because there's not really a whole lot to talk about with the game. It's got cruddy scrolling, poor hit detection, enemies that come kind of out of nowhere, move a little bit too quickly, and despite all that, it's not particularly difficult. At least the enemy ships are kind of technicolor. We've got blue, we've got orange, gray, green. I wonder, are they keeping score? How many times they kill me? I think an orange one has the lead, but I can't remember. You only get 2 lives, so it's not like they get to rack up a lot of points. I, on the other hand, have racked up 8,700 points. It is essentially meaningless, but I'm still doing it. And oh wow, the scrolling gets terrible here. And you actually have to go to the sides a bit, but I didn't last very long. Green wins! I don't know that, I'm just saying it. Streemerz! And there's no title. So this is a game that's ripped off with music that's ripped off. And pain. And sad faces. So yeah, this is Bionic Commando, basically. A game that I haven't actually played, but I've seen it, so... Do you think these are power-ups? No, they aren't. You just get the same sad face that you get. Maybe they're just trying to teach us to be aesthetic. You want to avoid the clowns and avoid everything else. Money bags, rabbits in hats, they're all out to get you. Whoa! That said, it's not a terribly hard game. The main problem is that, you can sometimes get trapped in situations where you have to take a hit. I mean, it's too obvious that that can't have been planned. But, whether it was planned or not, that's how it turned out. And now I'm dead. And that's all I'm doing of this game. Because, well, that's really just that over and over and over again, with worse graphics in other stages. Alright, it's time to move on to boss. Alright. In boss, you are some kind of lizard creature trying to avoid death. It's hard to avoid death. Ah. And yeah, you can jump, but super slowly. There's not really much point. Unless you get shot at. But I'm trying not to get shot at. Ooh, got through. When it comes to the bomb dropping, you just need to time it, really. Of course, when two people are dropping bombs nearby each other, that makes timing difficult. However, you can use sprite limitations to your advantage there. Anyway, you're trying to defeat snakes and frogs. And turtles. You also are wearing a hat that makes you look like a kind of a gritty private eye type person. Which makes me think that maybe you could do something with that. Some kind of some type of noir type, film noir type game with reptiles and amphibians instead of people. It's an interesting thought, anyway. And I don't think I'm going to get much farther in that, so I guess I will move on to the next game. Which is Chill Out. I'm not sure if this is another one that's supposedly plagiarized or not. I don't think so, because it doesn't sound good enough. This is another game that has the issue of if you jump, you're going straight up. But it's even worse in this one, because if you're holding the jump button, you can't move laterally at all. And yes, I did just die by falling down a one-tile pit. Interestingly, you have a health bar in this game. It only counts for enemies and enemy shots, though. Fall damage, insta-kill. So this is like Evil Empire in that you just have to defeat enough enemies to move on to the next stage. Fortunately, if you just tap the jump button, you're in pretty good shape. And it turns out to not be that hard to move around. Even though it's still kind of a dumb way to implement your jumping. Yeah, we're getting lag! The lag monster has come to visit. It's Halloween, so that's the time of monsters. I have to wonder, are you throwing snowballs at them, or are those... They don't look very ballish, but I imagine they gotta be snowballs. Except, if they're snowballs, then why do they make you explode? That seems kind of unnecessarily harsh. Alright, and in this stage, the human enemies are replaced by snowballs and stationary ice pillars? And the snowballs give you 57 points upon being defeated. A number that is so ridiculously arbitrary that it had to have been decided on by accident. Oh! I just nearly fell down a pit. But because I was moving to the side, I survived. This game does not know how to deal with solid objects. Didn't work that time, though. I was trying to demonstrate, but I failed. If you fall down if you get into the surface of something before you fall down too far, they'll treat it as if you have you can actually go into the floor, and it'll treat it as if you haven't fallen at all. However, it doesn't work in every place. And that was Chill Out. That's all from me for now. Until next time, this is Doc. I'll see you later.